He was a study in contrasts, a man of contradictions. Joseph Stalin, the name echoes through history, synonymous with both awe and apprehension. He dragged Russia into the modern age, transforming a backward nation into an industrial and military superpower. Yet this progress came at an unimaginable human cost. Millions perished under his iron rule, victims of his paranoia, his ruthlessness, and his insatiable hunger for power. Stalin's life remains a chilling reminder of the duality of human nature. He was capable of great cruelty and immense vision. He was a revolutionary who betrayed his own revolution, a dictator who claimed to rule in the name of the proletariat. Understanding Stalin, his motivations, and his methods is crucial to understanding the 20th century, a century forever marked by the rise and fall of ideologies and the terrifying power of totalitarian regimes. How did a boy born in obscurity rise to become one of the most powerful men in history? What drove him to such extremes? And how does his legacy continue to shape our world today? These are the questions that we must grapple with as we delve into the life and times of Joseph Stalin. Joseph Vissarionovich Jugashvili, the man who would become Stalin, was born in the small town of Gori, Georgia, in 1879. His early life was marked by poverty and hardship. His father, a cobbler, was a violent drunk who abandoned the family when Joseph was young. His mother, a devoutly religious laundress, struggled to make ends meet. This difficult upbringing instilled in young Joseph a sense of resentment and a thirst for power. A bright student, he excelled in school and won a scholarship to attend the Tiflis Theological Seminary. However, he was expelled in 1899 for his revolutionary activities. The seminary, meant to mold him into a man of God, instead ignited his passion for a different kind of faith, Marxism. He devoured revolutionary pamphlets, joined underground groups, and embraced the dangerous life of a Bolshevik agitator. He organized strikes, spread propaganda, and even resorted to bank robberies to fund the cause. This period of his life forged his skills as a cunning strategist and a ruthless operator, traits that would define his rise to power. The chaos of the Russian Revolution provided the perfect opportunity for a man like Stalin to thrive. Following the February Revolution and the abdication of Tsar Nicholas II, the Bolsheviks, led by the charismatic Vladimir Lenin, seized power in October 1917. During this tumultuous time, Stalin proved to be a valuable asset to Lenin. He was a pragmatic organizer, a skilled propagandist, and a ruthless enforcer. He rose through the ranks of the Bolshevik Party, taking on increasingly important roles. He served as the editor of Pravda, the party's newspaper, and played a key role in the Russian Civil War, organizing food supplies for Petrograd, now St. Petersburg. However, it was his appointment as General Secretary of the Communist Party in 1922 that proved to be the turning point in his ascent to power. Though seemingly an administrative position, it allowed Stalin to control appointments and build a loyal network within the party. This strategic maneuvering would prove crucial in the power struggle that ensued after Lenin's death in 1924. Stalin, often underestimated and overlooked, was playing the long game, and his patient accumulation of power would have devastating consequences for Russia and the world. With Lenin gone, a power vacuum emerged within the Bolshevik Party. Stalin, however, had been meticulously consolidating his grip on the levers of power. He outmaneuvered rivals like Leon Trotsky, Grigory Zinoviev, and Lev Kamenev, ultimately exiling them and securing his position as the undisputed leader of the Soviet Union. Driven by his vision of a socialist utopia and his paranoia about threats to his power, both real and imagined, Stalin embarked on a series of radical transformations. He implemented the 5-year plan's brutal campaigns of forced collectivization and rapid industrialization. These policies aimed to transform the largely agrarian Soviet Union into a modern industrial powerhouse capable of competing with the capitalist West. The human cost of this forced modernization was staggering. The collectivization of agriculture in particular led to widespread famine, most notably the Holodomor in Ukraine, which claimed millions of lives. Millions more perished in labor camps, victims of Stalin's paranoia and his relentless pursuit of industrial and military might. Yet despite the immense suffering, the Soviet Union underwent a remarkable transformation under Stalin's rule. Industrial output soared, literacy rates climbed, and the country emerged as a major player on the world stage. Section 5. The Terror Within, Shadows of Suspicion. As Stalin consolidated his power, a climate of fear and paranoia enveloped the Soviet Union. The Great Purge, launched in 1936, was a period of intense political repression. Millions were arrested, accused of being enemies of the people. They were subjected to sham trials, forced confessions, and sent to the Gulag, the vast network of labor camps that stretched across the Soviet Union. No one was safe from Stalin's paranoia. Old Bolsheviks, intellectuals, artists, writers, even ordinary citizens were caught in the web of suspicion. The purges were fueled by a toxic mix of Stalin's own insecurities, his desire to eliminate any potential opposition, and the culture of fear and denunciation that he cultivated. This period remains a dark stain on Soviet history. It destroyed lives, shattered families, and created a climate of fear that permeated every aspect of Soviet society. The Great Purge was a testament to the depths of Stalin's cruelty and the terrifying power of a totalitarian state. Section 6. The Great Patriotic War, a nation forged in fire. In 1939, the world watched in shock as Nazi Germany and the Soviet Union signed the Molotov-Ribbentrop Pact, a non-aggression pact that included a secret protocol dividing Eastern Europe between them. This pact, seen as a betrayal by many in the West, bought Stalin valuable time to strengthen his military. However, the uneasy alliance was shattered in June 1941 when Hitler, betraying Stalin, launched a surprise attack on the Soviet Union. Operation Barbarossa, as it was known, marked the beginning of the Eastern Front, one of the bloodiest theaters of World War II. Caught off guard, the Soviet Union initially suffered catastrophic losses. However, under Stalin's leadership, the Soviet people rallied to defend their homeland. The war became known as the Great Patriotic War, a struggle for national survival. Soviet soldiers and civilians alike fought with incredible courage and resilience, enduring unimaginable hardships. The Battle of Stalingrad, a brutal months-long siege, became a turning point in the war, marking the beginning of the end for the Nazi war machine. Section 7. The Iron Curtain Descends, the Cold War and its Consequences. The Soviet Union emerged from World War II victorious but devastated. Millions lay dead, cities were in ruins, and the economy was in shambles. Yet, despite these challenges, the Soviet Union under Stalin's leadership had asserted itself as a global superpower. The wartime alliance between the Soviet Union and the Western Allies rapidly deteriorated as the common enemy was defeated. Suspicion and mistrust grew, fueled by ideological differences and competing visions for the post-war world. By 1949, the Iron Curtain had descended across Europe, dividing East from West and marking the beginning of the Cold War. Stalin, ever suspicious of the West, tightened his grip on Eastern Europe, installing communist regimes loyal to Moscow. The Soviet Union developed its own atomic bomb in 1949, shattering the U.S. monopoly on nuclear weapons and further escalating Cold War tensions. The world watched with bated breath as the two superpowers engaged in a dangerous game of nuclear brinkmanship. Section 8. The Fall of the Titan, Death and Denunciation. On March 5, 1953, Joseph Stalin, the man who had ruled the Soviet Union with an iron fist for nearly 3 decades, died. The official cause of death was a stroke, but rumors of foul play persist to this day. His death triggered a wave of uncertainty and change within the Soviet Union and beyond. After a brief power struggle, Nikita Khrushchev emerged as Stalin's successor. In a stunning denunciation of his predecessor at the 20th Party Congress in 1956, Khrushchev condemned Stalin's crimes, his cult of personality, and the purges that had decimated the party and the country. Khrushchev's secret speech, as it came to be known, marked the beginning of de-Stalinization, a period of political and cultural thaw in the Soviet Union. Statues were toppled, his name was removed from textbooks, and the Gulag system was gradually dismantled. However, Stalin's legacy proved difficult to erase entirely. His impact on the Soviet Union, on Russia, and on the world remained profound. Section 9. A legacy etched in blood and steel. Joseph Stalin's legacy is complex and contested. He is both reviled as a tyrant responsible for the deaths of millions and revered as a strong leader who transformed the Soviet Union into a global power. There is no doubt that Stalin was a ruthless dictator who inflicted immense suffering on his own people. The the purges, the forced collectivization, the gulag system. These are dark chapters in human history. Yet it is also undeniable that he played a pivotal role in defeating Nazi Germany and in modernizing the Soviet Union. Today, his legacy continues to be debated in Russia and beyond. Some Russians view him as a strong leader who defended the country from fascism and restored national pride. Others see him as a brutal dictator who destroyed lives and set the country back decades. Understanding Stalin, his contradictions, his motivations, and his methods is essential to understanding the complexities of the 20th century and the challenges we face today. His legacy serves as a stark reminder of the dangers of unchecked power, the allure of totalitarian ideologies, and the resilience of the human spirit in the face of unimaginable adversity.